What is going on? Welcome to the ndcstraps.com live hour on Hobby of Hours. Today's episode, me and my buddy Ricardo will be covering the GPHG, the Grand Prix de Horologie de Genève winners, and I don't want to say losers, non-winners. But as we're kicking off these live streams, we are celebrating our trusted suppliers. Shout out to Jacko at ndcstraps.com. He is a trusted supplier, and I have been following NDC Straps for many a moon. You are most certainly familiar with the green one on my Tudor FXD LHD MOD by D and Friends, the world's easiest cool mod. Love that one. But I am wearing the Stealth today. I'll save my wrist check for whenever Ricardo joins us, but super quick. ndcstraps.com. That stands for Nageur de Combat, combat swimmers, more or less the Marine Nationale. There is only one true original, and it is available at ndcstraps.com. The original NDC Straps seen on Mighty Flighty at the Urban Gentry. You are most certainly familiar with that. This is the Stealth Mode one I am wearing today. But he has a bunch of other things over there. Glow-in-the-dark patches, challenge coins. We got some, looks like a hoodie there, a hat like I'm rocking, and a whole bunch of fun stuff. Proper Dive Watch, Proper Dive Strap, ndcstraps.com. Without further delay or ado, let us welcome our good friend Ricardo to the stage. Round of applause for Ricardo. What's up, homie?
Hi, D. Nice to see you.
Yeah, it's great to see you as well. Thank you for coming on board. I kind of forgot that the award show was kicking off Thursday. I think that's when all the winners were announced. And it's more or less the Oscars of hot horology, but there are some approachable pieces in the contest as well. There's 15 categories. We're going to go through them. But I purposely did not spend too much time looking at the winners. I made my picks. Then I built this little tool for us to go through. Ricardo did the same. And we have a scoring system as well. Super excited to share this with you, Ricardo. Having a good bit of fun. I always enjoy our live chats. And we like to cover the fancy stuff, don't we?
Oh, yeah. Anything that sparkles, anything that's got some stones all over it, definitely can.
All right, let us kick it like judo. So these are all the winners. As I mentioned, there are 15 categories, more or less, and a couple special ones at the end. If you can recognize these watch people, then you will maybe guess their watch, but I was unable. But a talented group of watch makers, creators out here. And we're going to have a bit of fun chopping it up today. Let me turn on the comments so I can do it. What is going on? The Dawn is in the house. If you haven't seen it yet, Friday's episode got to review Dawn's collection, or a little sliver of it. Welcome to the program, Dawn. And before we get into it, maybe, you know what? Let's do a wrist check since we haven't done that. You're up first, Ricardo. What you got? What's on the wrist?
I'm wearing my rather pedestrian Devosa Tiernos dive watch.
Oh, right on.
I originally got one of these in Germany when I was in Germany, and this is not that one, but I replaced that one with this one a few years later.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, it's a big old Iron Maiden, but it's very good.
All right, good. I am wearing my Christopher Ward Mark I dial, what I like to call the London dial. Love Christopher Ward. Proper dive watch, proper dive strap, Jacko. Love this strap. Obviously, it's black, so it matches. It is tremendous and a good bit of fun. All right, GPHG, the Grand Prix, kicking it off and diving right in. So this is the tool that we're using. There are 6 entries per category, and the winner will be shown on the right after we give a brief tour de force of what the 6 watches are on offer. The score is being kept in the lower right corner of each of our icons in the middle. This very well could end up as a draw if we don't pick any winners. So there's no prize. It's just 2 buddies talking watches, talking the GPHG. And I'm really surprised more mainstream YouTube folks aren't covering it to the degree I feel that it ought to, because it's something that's been on my radar since last year. I actually got to see the watches at Watches of Switzerland, because these watches, they tour the world. Just so happens they didn't come to America this time, or rather this year around. How much is on your radar, buddy?
This was a new event to me. I didn't know about it, and it's really this is a feast for the eyes. This is a show of flash. This is not just the latest release from Tudor. Isn't that interesting? These are works of art. They're intended to be visually appealing, and so as we go through these, I'm just intending to pick the ones that I think are the most visually beautiful and so on, and pay a little less attention to what we think the mechanics are, the movement or whatever, and just
that's
just
fair. A vast majority of the pieces you can take on face value, but there are certain categories that are amazing. There's the highly complicated mechanical ones. There's an entire section dedicated just to tourbillon. So there is quite a bit of chronometry and horology value, even alongside the epic beauty of them all. So we kick it off. Ladies first. So these are the ladies' watches. AP's got a gold quartz. Yay. Then we got, Gerald Genta. The ghost of Gerald Genta does not like this watch, and neither do I. Louis Vuitton, they released a version of this in gold where the face of it was smooth, and I like that watch very much. And this I like just as much. I would consider this more of a unisex watch. Depending on, it's platinum, so I can't afford it. But if that was 36 millimeters or larger, I didn't check, I would totally wear that all day long. And then Piaget, that's the ladies' watch. Tiffany & Co. Bird on a Rock Legacy Tanzanite. That is a quartz movement, but I find that very beautiful. And then Voutilanen, easily my new favorite watchmaker name to say. I don't know if it's Voutilanen or Voutilanen. That's just a cool name. And that is also something of a unisex watch, except the lugs kind of dip in where they meet the watch head. What are your thoughts on this, bro?
Well, it's a ladies' watch category. First, I'll say, I of course, I always like Royal Oak precious metal watches, but I don't know that I like them so much with quartz. The LV one, I have a little bit of a negative reaction to that. That one looks to me like a bathroom scale. Like I'm about to get it.
Dude, you're totally right. You just ruined it for me.
I don't want to hear, but
Dude, I wish you weren't on the program. You absolutely ruined the watch for me, but you're spot on. It looks like a bathroom scale. Oh, Heartbreak Ridge. What up, Rick? Welcome to the program, bro.
Hi, Rick. The Piaget, I like the color on it, but the asymmetrical thing, it's not really, doesn't grab me so much.
Yeah.
The category, the watch I picked in this category was the Tiffany Bird on a Rock one because I like the rocks and I like all the bling and all that that's set around.
You do like the bling, don't you?
It would have been a little bit better if not a quartz. It would have been a little bit better if there was mechanics behind that. But
I would agree. When I originally set out to do this, I also picked it, and then I looked it up, and I also found it was a quartz. It's like an $80,000 quartz because of all the jewelry and whatnot. I'm going bathroom scale on this one because I just love it. And
the Voutilanen, the Voutilanen is a runner-up, though. I think that one looks really good with the rose gold. Sorry.
So I didn't know you had an additional thing to say. The winner is Gerald Genta, easily one of the ugliest. What up, HHP? Easily one of the ugliest watches I've ever seen, period. Although I think if this came out of the 70s, like that Piaget, I wouldn't bat too much of an eye at it, but ugly. I'm sorry, but ugly. Bathroom scale for the win. All right, we are tied at 0-0. No winners on this one. Moving on. Ladies' complication. My throat is a bit raw from just congestion and whatnot. Why don't you just read them off, and then I'll add in some things that I know about them, because the complications, I have notes for the complications.
Okay, I'm gonna just skip over the things that I don't know how to pronounce, but so
No,
we'll
no,
start with,
actually pronounce them. It's kind of okay. You don't have to name the things. You can just name the brands, call them out.
we'll start with the Audemars Piguet at the top left. It's clearly a flying tourbillon. It's
Clearly.
code 11.59 by Audemars Piguet, self-winding flying tourbillon. I'm not gaga about those, but I do recognize them as a horological accomplishment. So
Feet. Yeah, I'll take the next one, Chopard, because I got something to say.
Go ahead.
The Imperial Four Seasons. This watch is amazing. If you can see at the bottom of the dial, you can see like different seasons. That is a rotating disc that makes a full cycle over the course of 365 days, showing you a bit of imagery from one of the four seasons. That thing is epic. I was so impressed with Chopard when I read about that. And then I'll take the Frank Mueller, that round triple mystery. If you see those green emerald arrows in the middle, those
Lovely.
tell the hours, minutes, and seconds. And it's on a disc. And most disc-based time tellers are sapphire, clear sapphire, but these are weighted down with jewels. So I can't imagine the power train that's driving heavy weighted dials like that. And then the Gucci has got it's a interlocking yada yada tourbillon in the middle. That Hermes cut le temps suspendu, time suspension. What that does, that has a special button that whenever you press it, the date goes bye-bye and all of the hands come up to 12 to symbolize as if time has stood still. Okay, useless, needless, poetic complication, but kind of fun nonetheless. If they, depending on the size of that, I would totally rock that. And if Chopard brought that Imperial out in a men's watch, awfully good. Jacob & Co. Mystery Tourbillon, 44 millimeters. What woman is wearing a 44 millimeter? It's $1 million. It's 1.1 million. That is a rapper watch. All right, sir, give us some thoughts and musings.
I guess if you really want to be noticed, the Jacob & Company is a dinner plate on your arm. But if you're going to spend $1 million on a watch, then I guess you want it to be seen, probably.
It's a rapper watch. What are you going to do?
The Frank Mueller round triple mystery is gorgeous, and I love what it's doing, and how it's all emeralds and diamonds. The hands are emeralds. It's absolutely beautiful. It matches the bracelet. But for my pick on this category, I would say the Chopard Imperial Four Seasons with the four-season disc. That's a lovely complication.
So you're going with Chopard?
Yes, with Frank Mueller as the runner-up.
All right. Shout out to Jacko, NDC Straps. Love it, buddy. We've got the flag. We have got the hat. NDCstraps.com. Proper dive watch. Proper dive strap. Welcome to the party, sir. You're not wrong. I love the Hermes as well.
What do you love about the Hermes?
Yeah. So, that's a good call. This is a tougher one. The only one I don't like here is I definitely don't like the Jacob. And the Gooch, I'm not a fan of. Proper watch YouTuber, proper watch channel. Thank you, my brother. All right, so you are going. Well, you said Chopard, yes?
I said Chopard number one, yes.
Yeah. I also went with Chopard because of that movement. And the winner is Bam. We both picked the right one. So at the very least, we will have a tie.
I didn't know that. I don't know. I don't know the answers to any of these, by the way.
Yeah, I made my picks mentally before I prepped the tool. I adore the notion of the Hermes, but that Chopard spinning disc thing is just that. So Hermes was my runner-up, I should say.
That's a complication. That's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Moving on to time only watches that only display the time. Daniel Roth Ming and Kurt's favorite cheese brand, the Parmigiani Fleurier, Piaget, Rawl Pages, and Tasaki, which is kind of cool. We don't need more competition for the giveaway. That's so funny. You know what's really funny about the giveaways? When I started doing them, I thought, oh, this is going to be great. People will spread the news and the channel will grow. No, they don't. It's exactly this point. No one wants more people entering a contest. That was such a dub, but that's really funny. All right, what do you think, buddy? What are your picks? What are you liking here?
Well, this is a very minimalist category, isn't it?
Yeah, time only, right?
The Piaget Andrew Warhol is catchy. I like the crystal dial type thing that it's got going on.
Did you say it was ugly?
No, I said it's catchy and I like it.
Oh, you're right. I'm the one who said it was ugly. My bad.
And the other ones are a little bit too minimal for me. I wound up going with the Daniel Roth as my top pick on this one. I like rose gold. As you know, I have a rose gold a root beer Rolex. So I like the tone of it, and it's warm, and it's time only, but it's classic and elegant,
yeah, he's not running that company any longer. I'm not a fan of this case shape. I appreciate the fact that he did something different, though. I generally love Ming watches, and despite my cheese comment, I think Parmigiani's doing some great stuff. For me, this was a toss-up between Sasaki, bottom right, and the Rawl pages. I don't know how. Well, I think I was originally going to go with Sasaki. I'm going Raul pages on this one, I'm afraid. And the winner is Ricardo, pulling ahead, my man. Pulling ahead. 2-1. I'm just not impressed with it. But I'm sure it's a great watch. They make great watches.
This is only an exhibition, not a competition. Please, no wagering.
We do not support gambling. Now we are entering in the men's portion of the evening. Why don't you go ahead and take this one, my brother?
Okay. Men's watches, that's something we look at quite a bit. Immediately, my attention went to the Zenith because it's Zenith, and we've all seen the nice YouTube segments on Zenith and their history and all that, and it's interesting, and I like the
great
colors.
Watch. That's a platinum watch with one of the most accurate movements ever produced.
Horologically, it's serious business, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I like the Laurent Ferrier's look a little bit. I could see myself wearing that watch. Ultimate. Go ahead.
No, I was agreeing. I think Laurent Ferrier makes very expensive watches that are nice, but yeah, Urban. Okay, so real quick, in case someone is highly astute, I did have to truncate some of these names and abbreviate because I needed, frankly, to get it down to 2 lines of text. Urban Jurgensen has just diarrhea of the mouth, just one word after another in its description. It's like, get to the point. So I had to truncate some of that, to be fair. Chris says Grand Seiko. Yeah, that Grand Seiko is nice.
What does natural escapement mean on the Jurgensen?
I actually went to read about it, and it's almost like AI wrote the description. I couldn't get to the bottom of it. I read, it was like 3 paragraphs long, and it still wasn't explaining it in a way that I could understand it. And it's not because I'm a dum-dum. I can be a dum-dum. It was just blathering on. So not happy with the description of that one, because I would like to know what the natural escapement is. But if it was that special, it would be in the mechanical complications section. It's not. It's in men's. I am going Zenith, my man.
Okay.
Which one are you going for?
Ultimately, I'm really entranced by the idea of that Grand Seiko spring drive movement, and so out of these watches, I'm most favorable towards the Grand Seiko spring drive. They have interesting textures on the dial sometimes, but it just horologically, the movement of that, the precision of it. Grand Seiko.
And the winner is Urban Jurgensen. Yikes. I just realized we're going a little bit slow, so I'm going to kick it into high gear.
Okay.
I can be verbose. Rick is also supporting the Zenith. Men's complication. Audemars Piguet. Who cares? What have you done for me lately? 105th anniversary open worked. Beauvais recital 30. The Beauvais is a world timer, but all world timers are wrong at some point through the year because of daylight savings, and only 1/3 of the countries in the world recognize world daylight savings. So the cities are on rollers, and the name of the city is on the roller either 3 or 4 times, depending on which country it is and whether or what country the city is located in, as to whether or not they adhere to it. So that's how they perfected the world timer, despite that, which is amazingly cool. The Chopard Luke Lunar 1 is a true moon phase. Louis Vuitton and Voudelainen, it's actually, I couldn't figure out what was special about it. I read Parmigiani is they wanted to make a very clean perpetual calendar. And Urban Jurgensen, I'm all of a sudden not a fan. Perpetual calendar, double escapement. All right, pick one, buddy. I got to zip through some of these. We got more to go.
This one, the Audemars Piguet, has got me. I saw a show about the creation of that movement. It's incredibly complicated and incredibly complex. And
all right, did I do them a disservice? Is it actually quite special?
If you dig up the YouTube video, I'm not sure if it was Teddy or if it was somebody else that went to there, and they went over it. It's extremely complicated, and it is a perpetual calendar. You can see it's got multiple dials, and it's a skeleton.
They're a one-trick pony with that case. Do something, and even the code 1159 stuff. I don't know. I went with Beauvais based on reading that stuff, and the winner is D-Train. Yeah, this is pretty out of control cool with those rollers for the cities. I don't like the look of the watch, but I respect it.
It's a complication category.
Yeah. Iconic. Sorry, I've been lax on the comments. Yeah, that's well put. All right, go ahead and take care of this one, my brother. I need to pause for the cause on this end. Read it down, my man. Oh, if the category needs a little explaining, there is a sentence along the bottom.
Okay. Let's see. Iconic, contemporary reinterpretation of a classic design. So here we have, I'm just making sure that what I'm looking at is the same thing as what's on the screen. Anderson Genève Communication 45, and it looks like it's got the names of cities all around the world around the outside of it. Then you've got the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Perpetual Calendar in solid gold, but this is with a dial and not a skeletonized one.
Yeah, that's yeah. The Breguet is next. That's a lovely watch. To be honest, the bottom three don't. Anderson, Genève, and the bottom three don't even belong in the icons category. None of them have been around that long, and the Piaget. That was probably a watch from the 70s, but it wasn't an iconic one. Like the Bulgari, I love Bulgari and MB&F. That is not iconic. That is. How long
has Bulgari been around with that?
I don't know. This is a partnership with MB&F, so how can it possibly be iconic? I don't know. Anyways, the winner is the Hanhart 417, because it should be the winner. It wasn't the winner, but there is no more important watch to come back than the 417 ES. ES stands for Edelstahl, stainless steel. The 417 Steve McQueen watch, hunted for almost a decade by yours truly, and then they brought it back in the flyback so you can actually own one. That is an icon. That's an icon. Steve McQueen.
They did it just for you, buddy. He went all the way to Germany to visit with them and ask for this, and they made it so.
Now gosh, I love the Hanhart team. I wish they'd won. They didn't win. Which one are you going with?
With this one, I would say the precious metals got me on the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Perpetual.
Gosh, you know what? To be fair, you are an AP fanboy. I went with Breguet. The Audemars won. So the Audemars won, buddy. You picked it. You are taking the lead at 3-2. Man, let's see this one. What's this comment? Urban has been showing up on the wrist. Oh, really? I did not know that. So I guess thank you for that tidbit, Leo. Seen a few used with the pushers fall off. Which watch do you mean, buddy? Do you maybe mean the Hanhart? I've not seen that. But pushers do come off depending
Urban
on
Jurgensen?
No, I don't know. Maybe, HHP, if you tell me which one, I'll pop you back up. But seriously, Hanhart should have won. Oh, the Hanhart. Yeah, he said Hanhart. Do you mean on eBay? You probably mean on eBay. But okay, so you won that one, brother. Tourbillon, the Turbs. Arnold and Son, love that brand. Bulgari. This thing is less than 2 millimeters thick. It's like 1.7, it's either 1.6, 7, or 8. Tourbillon. 1.68 millimeters thick. Like
which one are you talking about there?
A Bulgari.
Bulgari, right? That's what I thought.
That Fam Al Hut, lower left, Mobius, is beautiful. Louis V had a watch like this in last year's. I don't know. This is a flying tourbillon. It's surprising to me how the Gooch and Louis Vuitton are bringing such high-end horology into these contests, but their general watches aren't necessarily that grand. And again, UJ, I've just had it with UJ's descriptions. I went with Fam Al Hut, and I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, but Mobius is the one I went with. How about you?
It's impressive. I went with is it Zapek?
Chopek,
Antarctique Tourbillon Glacier Blue. I just like what it's doing visually, and that's the one I would stare at. Although Bulgari was a very close second for sure.
Oh, Junior Johnson says it's Fan Al Hut. Well, to be fair, I copied it off of the website. So if they got it wrong on the website, heavens to Betsy. Fam. Oh, okay. No, okay. You were correcting my Fam Al Hut. Is that what you're correcting me on? Appreciate the. I always happy to take correction. Nobody won this one, buddy. Moving on. Mechanical exception. Now I need to go through this. Arm & Strom, upper left, is a resonance with GMT function with 2 displays, both having night-day indicators. Grubel Forsey is a flying tourbillon with nano mechanics. Again, I read through it, really didn't understand it. It splits each second into 6 segments, has no traditional gear train, but low inertia wheels distribute the energy. Hosman and Monin is my new favorite. I just caught an episode on Mental Watches where they went and visited them. It's a resonance, and the movement is from scratch with no previous movement as its base. And they based it on the watch they made in school together, these two dudes. It's a passing strike with an instant jump hour. Absolutely adore it. 60 G's. Louis V pocket watch. Okay, minute repeater tourbillon, and has 7 automations, automaton animations. Luca Soprano in the middle made what he's calling the Derek Pratt. Derek Pratt was a watchmaker. It was crafted in his workshop. The hand-wound caliber is distinguished by its remontoire d'égalité mechanism, which acts as a constant force by means of a Rouleau triangle, directly engaged with the winding pinion, which rewinds the mainspring every second. The small seconds hand at 7:30 o'clock jumps in time. So quite a mouthful. And then the last one, Van Cleef & Arpels. It's an automaton, and the dial features 2 grisaille and enamel techniques and requiring a dozen kiln firings. I am a huge fan of Van Cleef & Arpels. They don't do a whole lot for men, but these poetic complications where they've got 2 lovers moving across the dial, I've always respected them. And if I was Charlize Theron, that's the one that I would get, but I'm not. I went with Hasselmann. That was a mouthful. You can wax ecstatic about these if you like, bro, before you cast your vote.
Well, that was a great description, and honestly, I've had a really difficult time choosing between the Van Cleef and the Grubel Forsey, but your description of the mechanics of the Grubel Forsey pushed it over the edge, and so I'm going to go with that one as number 1. And although the Van Cleef was spectacular.
Yeah, the Van Cleef is spectacular, but they've been doing that for a lot of years. I don't know that they've necessarily changed it up. And I think the reality is you know watches better than me, buddy, because you
Oh,
have,
wow.
again, picked another winner. 4-2. Maybe you should have a YouTube channel. You can take over hobby of ours. Let's see here.
Just purely a beauty contest.
It is. And I would second that, Rick. Yeah, I read it and I still don't understand it. So I might have to go back and read a few more. All right, chronograph. Why don't you go ahead and take this one, buddy? Yeah, you know what? We don't have to read out the brands. The viewers can see it. Just go ahead and start talking about what you like.
Okay, Anderson Genève. It's visually attractive and so on. I'm not a big chronographs guy. I'll just say that at the outset. I have a chronograph or two, which I don't wear all that often. Then next is the Angelus, which cleverly looks like it's got a single button for operation.
Yeah, it is. Angelus is a legacy brand that more or less came back, and like they're charging absurd amount of money, like 25-30 grand per watch, no matter what. And I'm like, who do you think you are? But yeah, a single pusher integrated into the crown is not new. This is a very attractive piece. But yeah, so
the Audemars Piguet is a bit too Transformers for me.
Yeah,
it's you know, some people might like it, but it's more in the RM kind of category of loud and proud or something.
Yeah, instead of breaking down each one, let me know which one you're. Let me know which if I give you particular thoughts about one or two or three.
Otherwise, the one I like the best is Louis Moinet.
Louis Moinet. Wow. Okay.
Yes, I like the way those pushers look. I like that they're not trying to be smooth and integrated, but being a little bit steampunk there. And I like the cleanness of the different wheels.
I think that's very well put, steampunky. I love Ming. This is a highly complex dial that was carved out of a piece of, like a single piece of metal. Chris says he likes that Angelus. He's going to be impressed in a moment. Yeah. I actually have a Ming. I have a GMT Ming I picked up. I haven't shot it yet. But yeah, so that Angelus took it down. So it's a good looking watch, to be fair. And this is probably one that would be worth their 25-30 grand. But some of their other stuff just isn't. Okay, so I'll take this one. We've got another Royal Oak. And then we've got the Chopard, what I'm calling Sauron's butthole watch, because that dial looks like someplace where the sun doesn't shine. And this iteration looks like Sauron's. Not a fan of the Tentograph from Grand Seiko. Laurent Ferrier. Ooh. You know what? None of these watches are sports watches, with the possible exception of the offshore. But the Resence in the lower right, this is a new watch from them. And it's pricey, but I like it. So I went with Resence. How about you? Which one of these appeals to you, buddy?
I would guess you're going to win on that one, just because it's so innovative and unusual. I also didn't like the Grand Seiko very much. I wouldn't want to wear that watch, I don't think. The one I did like was the Chopard, because yeah, it's dark, but it's got some power going on. So I went with the Chopard.
All right, you went with Chopard, eh?
Yep.
And the winner is Sauron's butthole.
Oh man, I'm killing it today.
Dude, you were crushing it. And the reality is, I just think it's so ugly. The salmon one was the first time that someone made the comment and it stuck in my head. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes, like Mingers, right?
Yeah, I never heard of it. Dude, Chris, you are so right. That Tentograph is from the past somewhere. Yeah. All right, dude, you're crushing me. 5-2. All right, jewelry, and this is how they spell jewelry in the Queen's English, as I understand. I am a sucker for the Bulgari Serpenti. Again, if I was Charlize Theron, I would rock that all day. But I also really like the Simon Brett. I mean, the Bulgari Serpenti, It's not new. I mean, this might be a different iteration where they changed the dials around, but I went with Simon Brett. Which one did you go for, buddy?
This one, this was a close call because the Simon Brett does look gorgeous, and again, I'm captivated by the emeralds and all that, and it is a piece of jewelry. But ultimately, in a category that's named jewelry, the Bulgari I think wins it because it's so iconic and so jewelry oriented.
Yeah, it is a brilliant execution, absolutely, without equivocation. It is gorgeous. It's just, what have you done for me lately, Bulgari, right? And the winner is Dior Montrez La Dior Buisson Couture. I did take French in high school. I just don't remember any of it.
Well, it's beautiful.
Yeah. That is kind of funny, Romeister. It is like Van Cleef and Arpels. All they basically make is jewelry watch, and they're not winning. Dior Montrez, I don't know if this is the standard Dior brand, but good on them. That is a very lovely piece of jewelry, but it's just a bunch of stones in one place. So I don't know. Moving on. Artistic crafts. Now, I do have something to say about this one. The artistic crafts category, they have to demonstrate a mastery of a given technique. I have seen this Louis V samurai watch somewhere on the YouTubes. I don't remember where, but it is in Macoconut. The Chopard LUC straw marquetry dial, which is a 17th century technique. Hermes, the horse, is hand engraved, hand painted, and it's immobile. There's a spring pusher for the tongue impulse, so the horse's tongue comes in and out. Whoopie-doo. And then the Louis V, it's a 16-second mechanical spectacle capturing the Bushido code through 5 animations, the enameling and engraving. It is not a party watch, but it is certainly a bit complex. Lower left, the PSJ has an iconic skeleton movement set with diamonds and sapphires with a new facet made of Grand Feu cloisonne enamel. I do appreciate a good cloisonne enamel. Tiffany & Co. features a multi-layered dial with champlev enamel and applique lacquered flowers. Diamond set subdial and a 18-karat gold bird sitting on top of a flying turb. That's really rather nice. And then the Vutalainen, the extraordinary Japanese lacquer art of Mr. Tatsuo Kitamura dial draws inspiration from the motto Suyu, a coined word that is reflected in the striking contrast between blue, green, gold, and red colors. Su evokes in the outer part of the dial the sea, represented by the deep clear blue green, while U, in its shades of gold, red in the center, signifies a natural organic form, symbolizing solar energy. Which one did you go for, my man?
It was tough to choose on this one. The Tiffany is very beautiful. Ultimately, I went with a Vutalainen one because I could see, I like the style of that artwork, and I could see wearing that out to a club night or something when there's a lot of visuals going on too, and it would sort of blend in. So Vutalainen with Piaget as a second choice.
Gosh, you're killing me. I went with Chopard. I think it's time to hang up my hat in the YouTube space because dang, my boy picked another. You know what? Although you were a gambler back in the day, so maybe I should be betting with you on things. 6-2. I don't even know what record I'm on. I don't think I can even catch you at this point. So we'll just keep having fun. Petite Aiguille, probably my favorite of the categories because the requirement is that the cost of your watch must be between 3,000 Swiss francs and 10,000. So that's roughly 4,500 to about 12 G's. And I love that category because that's basically where I'm at as a buyer. What are your thoughts on these pieces, my good man?
Hard to choose. I didn't really realize that the price point thing was an issue when I first looked at them, but now it kind of makes more sense. The Moser is interesting looking, but with the proliferation of smartwatches, it's less unique having some digital output on it. Ultimately, I settled on the Nomos.
Well, the Nomos, to be fair, is certainly the watch I would buy and own. Although I have reviewed the Christopher Ward C12 Loco, and I've held it in person. I think that in this category, what I respect and what I would own would maybe, be something different. I realize I don't like seeing a moving escapement all the time. And the very interesting portion of the Christopher Ward C12 is indeed the back where all the magic is happening, the double barrels. So for me, I kind of went, I voted with my heart and my love for C-Dub. I went with Christopher Ward, although I love it, but I don't like seeing a spinning balance. I think what they're doing in that price band is amazing. And you went with Nomos?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Let me just catch up on some. Yeah, I know, right? Well, actually, 12K USD, to be fair. And Moser's always doing some interesting things. I think that just because it's interesting doesn't make it awesome. So that, we're going to comment about the Amida. Yeah, that's well put. That almost looks like a little bit of MBNF inspiration there, like MBNF light, though. Turns out that the winner was the Mad Editions Green.
I wonder why they went with that one.
I don't know. I think next time what I'll do, God willing, is I'll for this category, I'll put the actual prices. And then that might add a dynamic. If anyone who's watching live or on live later, if you have any feedback about the system, the tool I'm using, feel free to give that feedback to me. I can always make it better, right?
Who decides who wins? Well, the Academy, the GPHG people decided.
Yeah, they Academy members vote. And well, here's the thing. This is a good point. There is a much wider field of watches that get submitted because it costs everything's in Swiss francs. It costs $800 to submit your watch. And then if your watch is down selected to one of these 6, it costs you somewhere between $7,000 and $8,000 because you have to pay them to take it on tour around the world. So there's kind of a financial component here that is not burdensome for these types of manufacturers, but kind of a little bit goofy. I kind of don't understand the logic there, but I guess someone has to pay for it somewhere, right? So, but then they're voted on. So for me, this one, I do love the Christopher Ward in the lower left, and I actually am going to be doing a video about Mr. Jones. They make very fun watches with unique artists over and over. Different artists. The Barons. Which one's the Barons, buddy? Oh yeah, in the upper right corner. Yeah, that is kind of interesting. I don't know if my buddy John is watching, but he actually owns the Corono Tokyo in the lower right, and I got to see it on FaceTime. It is lovely, and it's probably the one I would buy out of this group. Although the Beda A Eclipse, another bathroom scale watch, it's only $1,000, and I thought it was beautiful. I couldn't really determine if it was a jumping hour, but that's the one I went with for this one. Which one did you go with, buddy?
I don't understand what all the fascination is with jumping hours these days. Nico,
I love it.
He put out his own one and so on. I just, okay, I get that some people like it. I just don't really understand what it is. But
I love the Cartier.
I would have liked the Barons when I was younger, maybe when I was in high school or something, or even earlier. Ultimately, I think the Corono Tokyo is the class act here.
Yeah,
especially with the Japanese writing all over it and so on. It's really
that's the one you're going with, Corono.
Yeah. That one looks iconic.
Yeah. Shout out Dark Star. Yeah, you had to buy that, although with the $65,000 combo. I would not be surprised, bro. But sadly, the winner is. I don't like this watch at all. I don't like the majority of 70s inspired stuff. Certainly Tiger Eye.
Yeah, it's like 1974, isn't it?
Yeah, let's see this here. Okay, what's the... They are? I didn't know the Denison was historically important. I thought that was a Johnny come lately. I'm going to have to look them up, Leo. Thank you for the input. Let's see here. That's fair. Yeah, Dark Star, you're fair. No, I was in the wrong. Thank you for the correction. That is pretty cheap. Yeah, that's fair, buddy. Good call. All right, we're approaching the end, and I'm clearly not going to win. 6-2, bro. Well done. The mechanical clock is probably one of my favorite categories. I actually don't own any table clocks, to be fair, but I think you can do so much more with a bigger canvas. I just love what shows up here. Now, this egg from Anton Suhanov, I should have looked. I apologize. I don't know if that sits in a holder or if it's stabilized on the base. I like the trilobe in the lower right corner because I suspect you can move that head altogether in and out. So I went with trilobe.
Okay. I like that. Let's see if I can pronounce it. Mickey Elita. This is my runner-up. I liked it because it reminded me of the Leonardo da Vinci drawing of a tank, which it was a circular thing with a sort of teepee-shaped cover on it with a bunch of cannons pointing around the outside. That was his idea of a tank, and kind of reminds me of that. Although this is supposed to be a spaceship, I think.
Is that the one you're going with? You're going with me?
No. The one I'm going with, actually, this one I said, okay, which one of these would I really want to put in my home?
Yeah.
The Louis Vuitton for this one because I like the balloon.
Louis V.
Yep.
All right. Louis V. Let me catch up on the comments here. Yeah, the Denison is a quartz watch. Yikes. I like it even less now. Romeister saying he's got a bit of Denison fatigue. I think I saw a Mr. Wonderful video with it. Yeah, that trilobe. Yeah, right on. Let's see. What's this here? Okay. Oh, I did not know that. Thank you, buddy. The Albatross. Which one? Oh, the Lepay 1839. There he is. John's in the house, buddy. I was talking about your watch a few clicks ago, buddy. There it is. Corono Tokyo, my man. You own one of the watches that is in the GPHG, brother. Oops, nope, going back here. That's where we're at. No worries, my man. Good to have you here. It's an Easter egg, yeah, right on.
That Easter egg is clever.
That's neat, but the winner is Liepay. So who got Liepay? It was someone in the comments got it. Need to find it. Gosh, where was it? Shout out to whoever got it in the comments. Why did that comment disappear? Can't find it. Apologies. Yeah, so no one there. So 6-2, my man. Absolutely crushing the host at hobbyofhours.com. But we have a couple more slides. We've got the one for the
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. On the 6-2 aspect, it reminds me of the Academy Awards. When I lived in Los Angeles, I used to get these things in my mailbox because on the off chance I might be an Academy member that we're promoting this movie or that movie. Heavily lobbying. So it's not just which movie is the best, it's which one did really well at the box office, which one came from which studio, blah, blah, blah. How pure do you think the nominees on this are, and how much do you think politics plays a role in choosing which watch wins?
It's involved. This process involves human beings, so there are going to be politics involved, and I'm sure there's money moving left, right, and center. I mean, the sheer banality of most of AP's entries, except for the one, they had like 5 or 6. You mean to tell me there aren't more interesting watches out there that have been released that are actually truly unique than than an AP. I'm sorry, that's not the case. But
Represented.
yeah, so it is what it is. What are you going to do? But I do love doing this every year. I really enjoy going through the GPHG things. But this one is the Aiguille d'Or, which is the watch of the year. It was one of the watches that we've seen. Do you want to see if you can? You know what? There's too many watches. There's
Lord,
15 times 6. That's 60. That's 90 watches.
If I had to choose one, it would be the AP Royal Oak Perpetual Calendar 150th. But
don't make me remove you from the screen. It is the Breguet Classique Souscription, which is a beautiful watch. I would absolutely love to wear this very expensive Meistersinger, but kind of a neat. I'm glad this one won. I found this one to be very classy. This is the watch of the year, and absolutely gorge. I know we didn't cover it too much earlier, but what are your thoughts on it?
I'm not sure I understand why this is the overall winner. I mean, it's a good-looking watch, good-looking hands, it's simple, but I don't know if I would. Based on all the watches that are here, there's other ones that I would grab to go out. If I was going to grab one watch out of the entire stack there, it would probably be one of the blingy ones, one of the diamondy ones. I'm not sure why this is the overall winner.
That's interesting. I find what is the criteria for the watch of the year is the real question. I think that classicism is always going to play a part, and this is a classic watch. It's a beautiful watch. I can't recall rather whether or not Breguet had this in their back catalog. They very well could. I think it's an absolutely beautiful watch. I would love to own it. I couldn't even approach it. I don't know what the cost is, but it's definitely north of 70. I would maybe, gosh, it's got to be 100. Can someone Google that for me while I'm in the presentation mode? Because I can't do both. Yeah, someone can look up what this watch costs. And I'll
One of the commenters said, so the Swatch Group won?
I didn't see that. Where was that comment?
It's up a couple.
Oh, yeah. More or less. Gosh, these glasses are killing me. All right, going on to the next screen. The Audacity Award, the Horological Revelation Award, and the Chronometry Award. And I'll come down to Mr. Perrin in a moment. But the Fam Al Hut won the Audacity Prize for its Mobius. And the Easter Egg Tourbillon won for Horological Revelation. I kind of don't know what that means. But Chronometry Excellence, which I kind of hinted at earlier when we were covering the Zenith, that caliber is the most awarded watch movement ever in history, going all the way back to the 70s or whenever it debuted. And it like over 135 awards for chronometry. And I don't know if they dusted it off and upgraded it for this watch, but this is a platy. And while I'm not 100% a fan of the dial coloring variation around the outer track, what are you going to do? All right, shout out. Hold on. I actually am not put off by 50 grand for that watch. I mean, it is a solid gold watch, and it's got an amazing, movement, etc. Thank you so much for looking this up. Appreciate you. And okay, so he says it's 50. John is saying it's 59. John, you're gonna buy one for 50 and sell it to me for 59? What the heck, bro? But at the very bottom, each year they kind of single out a person for some sort of excellent contribution to horology. And Alain Dominique Perrin joined the Richemont Group in 1999 and is largely responsible for the Cartier Renaissance that they have enjoyed. So he's being celebrated for that. Funny enough, if he has been with Richemont for the entire time of the Cartier Renaissance, then he would have also been the one to greenlight the bulldozing of thousands of unsold Cartier watches so that they wouldn't hit the secondary market and cheapen the value of the watch in the gray market. Literally, they bulldozed millions of dollars in watches and took it as a write-off instead of selling them on the cheap. So
that is an outrage.
It's an outrage.
There should be a law.
I get it from a business perspective and wanting to protect your brand, but what does it really say? What does it really say? I was very off, but that was like 3 years ago or something like that. All right, we got some comments engaging with one another. Yeah, that's fair. And Rick agrees with you.
Can you go to Leo's comment there? Yeah, I'm not sure if it was mentioned before, but I'm sure the Easter egg is a reference to the famous Fabergé eggs that were made in St. Petersburg. Undoubtedly, it's absolutely got to be. And part of the appeal of I'm no art expert on eggs there, but I think part of the appeal of it is just its absolute impracticality. It's just it's a pure work of art. That
to be fair, I would rather see it rendered in a gold execution, but I guess that's a lot of gold, right? I don't know how big this thing. I think these things are big, and you wouldn't want to get into plating. But I think you're right, Leo. I didn't research it, obviously, but you have to be spot on. That makes sense to me. Citizen, you know what? I don't know. Here's the funny thing: navigating the GPHG website can take a little bit of noodling. There are links in the description that take you to there. There's also a link to Scott's book. Scott from watchistry.com. Let me get up in its business. The Marine Nationale. We are celebrating NDC today, and you can't think of the NDC without thinking about, or rather, you can't think of NDC straps without the Marine Nationale. And if you buy this book, Amazon.com link, you will actually get to see this watch inside of it, which is somewhat hilarious. But yeah, I took a photo of my modded watch on the strap, and it made it into the book.
Can you say for the audience what mod you did to that?
Yes. I basically, let me switch views. This started its life as a regular old Tudor FXD, but when I saw on Adrian Barker's channel that he had a photo of the military issued one that the divers could actually order from Tudor that are left-hand drive, I was like, chances are that's just a dial flipperoo. So I went to my friends and had them drop the movement, take the hands off, rotate the dial, and stitch her back up. Piece of cake, easiest mod ever. Just go through the back catalog if you would like to see how to do it. I document all of that. But yeah, so that's in a nutshell. This has been your GPHG revelry. Let's see, we got Citizen. Oh, I was coming back to this comment. There are like dozens of more. There's like somewhere between 15 and 20 watches per the 15 categories that got sent in. These are the down selected 6 that got nominated to compete, and then obviously one winner per category. So there are, I don't know if Citizen was in there, but they certainly could be. Like that one particular Citizen watch where it's like a $9,000 Citizen, but it's the world's most accurate watch. I don't know when that one came out, but I'm sure it probably got sent in for its year, because there's a time frame the watch has to come out in order to be chosen. No complaints. Manager takes inventory out of circulation. I don't know, John. Like to you know what? Here's the thing. If you're going to bulldoze millions of dollars of your own product, do that in secret. Don't blab about it. Don't let that information get out. Just have them shipped to a warehouse somewhere and do it there. But don't let word get out, because you didn't. I think less of them for doing it.
I understand the business logic of it. It makes total sense business-wise, but it just seems an awful shame to take a bunch of Cartier watches that are already made that are nice that somebody might want to use. And, maybe announce you're going to destroy them, create a sort of controversy about it, and say, okay, we give in, we're not going to destroy them, we'll sell them, and then you can actually sell them.
No, it's like they can't. They have too many watches. Their watches weren't selling. That's why they had overstock. But yeah, the Bulgari, that's advantaged,
Yeah.
Yeah, I am a Bulgari fan. Absolutely. I have the Diagonal, and I actually wore that up to New York when I was hanging with TGV, showed that to him. And Bulgari is definitely having a moment. I should announce I released a short video last night. The Swiss tariff of 39%. We can give a princess wave. Bye. So they're down to 15%, but it hasn't kicked in yet on eBay. So anyone who's viewing this, anyone in the past and live or future, be careful about going back out to chiefly eBay, Japan, JDM sellers. The tariffs have not been adjusted yet, and it could take weeks. I'm not absolutely certain.
I sent you a picture. The way they got the tariffs down was Switzerland sent Donald Trump a giant bar of gold for his desk and a Rolex desk clock. And so he said, okay.
Yeah, no, that's he's a businessman. That was not an accident that they're going to be investing in the U.S. It's all high-end strategy stuff. I'm just happy I can buy from Japan again because I've been on more or less a buying freeze. Last thoughts from John. Destroy them instead of disassembled. I would have warehoused them, and I would not have. Although the warranty cards on those Cartiers would have been, yeah, I don't know, mixed feelings on it. So that we're at about an hour. I like to keep these shows up to an hour. Hope that you enjoyed it. Ricardo, congratulations on your win, sir. Yay.
Thank you. Thanks for having me along on this wonderful journey too.
Yeah. Any final thoughts before we sign off?
I like going through watches and just looking at them for their artistry and beauty, and not, is this a big seller? Does this demographic want it? Can you get it from the AB? It's nice to take a break from that and just look at it from a purely art standpoint. Thank you.
Yeah, so follow the link in the description below. It'll take you to their website where you can see everything that was submitted, which is, I think, even more fascinating because I saw a bunch of watches on the full submission list that were better than a lot of the ones that were down selected to. But, it's, voted by a committee. Thank you to everyone who was hanging out with us live. Hope you all enjoyed it. Signing off from Hobby of Ours Central. Go to ndcstraps.com. We have a discount code. It is in the channel description. An absolute pleasure, Jacko, to be celebrating the NDC love, the ne jour de combat. And thank you, Leo. Great to have you here. Thank you for everyone who took time out of the afternoon and, played a part in the comments. We will catch you in the next one. Peace.